On December 26, 1900, a ship approached a lonely lighthouse on a remote island off the coast of Scotland. Something was wrong. No one was waiting at the dock. No signal flags were raised. And the lighthouse keepers, whose job was to maintain the light that protected passing ships, were nowhere to be seen. When investigators finally entered the lighthouse, they discovered something unsettling. Dinner was still on the table. A chair had been knocked over. The clock had stopped, but the three lighthouse keepers had vanished. More than a century later, no one knows exactly what happened to them. This is the mystery of the Flannan Isles Lighthouse. The Flannan Isles are a small group of rocky islands in the North Atlantic Ocean. They lie about 30 kilometers west of the Isle of Lewis in Scotland. The islands are isolated and constantly exposed to powerful winds and violent waves. For centuries, sailors feared these waters. Storms could appear suddenly, and many ships had been wrecked on the jagged rocks surrounding the islands. To make navigation safer, a lighthouse was constructed on the largest island, called Eilean Mor. The lighthouse began operating in 1899. It was a tall stone tower standing on high cliffs above the ocean. Inside, a powerful lamp guided ships through the dangerous waters at night. Maintaining that light was the responsibility of lighthouse keepers. Their job was demanding. They had to maintain the lamp, monitor weather conditions, and keep detailed records in a daily logbook. The light could never fail. If it did, ships might crash into the rocks. Because of the harsh environment, 3 keepers lived on the island at a time. Another keeper remained on the mainland and rotated with the others every few weeks. Life on the island was extremely isolated. The keepers lived together in a stone building beside the lighthouse. Beyond that building, there was nothing but cliffs, wind, and the endless Atlantic Ocean. In December of 1900, the 3 keepers stationed at the lighthouse were James Duckett, Thomas Marshall, and Donald MacArthur. They were experienced men who had worked in difficult conditions before. But in mid-December, something strange began to happen. Ships passing near the islands noticed that the lighthouse light was not visible. At first, this might not have seemed unusual. Bad weather or thick fog could sometimes hide the light from view. But as the days passed, the situation became more concerning. A relief ship called the Hesperus had been scheduled to visit the island on December 20th. However, severe storms delayed the journey. The ship finally reached the Flannan Isles on December 26 as the crew approached the island. They noticed something unsettling. No one was waiting at the landing platform. Normally, one of the lighthouse keepers would be ready to greet the arriving ship. But this time, the dock was completely empty. The captain of the Hesperus, Jim Harvey, sounded the ship's horn. The echo rolled across the cliffs. Still, no one appeared. Eventually, a relief keeper named Joseph Moore volunteered to go ashore. He climbed the steep path leading up from the landing platform toward the lighthouse. As he approached the building, the silence became unsettling. When he opened the door and stepped inside, he immediately sensed something was wrong. The interior looked abandoned. In the kitchen, a meal had been left unfinished. A chair had been knocked over, and the clock had stopped. But there was no sign of the 3 keepers. Moore searched the entire building. He checked the bedrooms, the storage rooms, and the lighthouse tower itself. The men had vanished. Outside, investigators soon discovered more clues. 2 sets of oilskin coats were hanging inside the lighthouse, but one coat was missing. This suggested that one of the keepers had gone outside wearing protective gear, but the others might not have had time to dress properly before leaving the building. Further investigation revealed damage near the western landing platform. A large metal box used to store ropes and equipment had been torn from its mountings. Iron railings had been twisted, and rocks weighing hundreds of kilograms had been displaced. It appeared that powerful waves had smashed against the cliffs during the recent storms. When investigators examined the lighthouse logbook, they discovered something even stranger. Several entries described severe weather conditions. One entry mentioned strong winds and heavy seas. Another entry noted that one of the keepers seemed unusually quiet. The final entry recorded that the storm had ended and that the sea was calm. After that, the logbook entries stopped. The official investigation concluded that the most likely explanation was a tragic accident. According to this theory, one of the keepers may have gone down to the landing platform to secure equipment during the storm. Another keeper may have followed to help. Then a massive wave could have swept them into the sea. The third keeper might have rushed outside to assist them and was also pulled into the water. The cliffs around the island are extremely dangerous during storms. Rogue waves can rise suddenly and crash over the rocks with enormous force. Even experienced sailors can be caught off guard by such waves. But some aspects of the mystery remain difficult to explain. Why would all three men leave the lighthouse at the same time? Standard lighthouse procedure required that at least one keeper remain inside to watch the light. Another strange detail is the overturned chair in the kitchen. Some people believe this suggests the men left suddenly or in a hurry. Over the years, several alternative theories have been proposed. Some researchers believe that a rare type of rogue wave may have struck unexpectedly. These waves can rise far higher than normal ocean waves and appear without warning. Others have suggested that a violent argument may have occurred among the keepers. According to this theory, a conflict might have escalated into a fight, leading to an accidental fall from the cliffs. However, there is no evidence to support this idea. Local legends offer even stranger possibilities. The Flannan Isles have long been associated with folklore and ghost stories. Ancient traditions warned sailors not to spend the night on the islands. Some believe that supernatural forces live there. Although such stories are likely myths, they have added to the mystery surrounding the disappearance. Despite more than a century of speculation, no definitive answer has ever been found. The bodies of the three lighthouse keepers were never recovered. No witness ever saw what happened on that stormy night. Today, the lighthouse still stands on the island of Eilean Mor, but it no longer requires keepers. Like many lighthouses around the world, it has been automated. The tower continues to shine its light across the dangerous waters, but the island itself remains empty. Visitors who land there often describe the place as eerie and silent. Wind sweeps across the cliffs. Waves crash endlessly below, and the lighthouse stands alone against the sky. More than 100 years ago, three experienced men lived and worked there. Then one night, they disappeared without a trace. And whatever happened to them may have vanished into the Atlantic forever. Subscribe to learn what no one told you.